Welcome back. A shocking new Reuters investigation sheds light on the secrecy around product liability cases in the U.S., going back as far as 20 years. Judges sealing evidence relevant to public health, and now it's playing out again in a courtroom in Cleveland, where a judge is not granting access to evidence in opioid cases. Joining me now is Dan Levine. He's legal correspondent in Reuters and co-author of this story. Dan, and why are opioids the most emblematic of this problem?
Well, it goes back many, many years to the early 2000s when litigation over opioids first began. We found records going back to the first state lawsuit against Purdue Pharma that were sealed in 2004 that had to do with how OxyContin worked for many patients, evidence that Purdue knew that it didn't last for 12 hours for many patients, and that could really heighten the risk of addiction. They were sealed then. They were sealed by judges in other courts in the years past that until some of them became public more recently and really sparked this wave of lawsuits. And even now, in this court case in Cleveland, the judge had been sealing a lot of records without deciding whether they deserve to be.
And why is that? Because you mentioned this isn't just the opioid crisis. We're talking about the GM rollover accidents, the Remington hunting rifle issues in the 1980s, Goodyear tires and mobile homes. Why don't the judges make this information all public?
Well, the biggest reason that we found, the biggest explanation in our reporting, was that it's just convenient. Oftentimes, neither side in a case asks for it to be public. The companies, of course, want to protect their files. The plaintiffs just want to get a judgment and a recovery, and so no one is asking the judge to do this. The law says that the judges are supposed to do it on their own, but they need to move cases too. They're pretty overworked, and so they often just don't look at this stuff. And as a result, a lot of information doesn't become public that could really help people.
What does it take to change that? Just the precedent of judges doing it differently, more pressure from the media or from the public watching high-profile cases? Does the law need to be changed? And I'm sure that some companies are saying, well, there's a risk that information will get out there that doesn't tell the whole story.
Sure. Well, I think that in terms of what could be done, judges can use some of the tools that they have now to actually do the analysis and make sure that the information they're seeing actually deserves to be secret if someone asks for it. The courts could change their rules, and Congress could pass laws that make some of these analyses more permanent and more widespread. Companies, if they want to keep something secret, or if they think that something could unfairly tarnish their reputation, or that it's a trade secret, actually, reputation, it shouldn't matter. But if it's a trade secret, companies can ask the judge, hey, look, this is a trade secret. This is going to hurt us competitively. You should keep this under wraps, and judges are allowed to do that. I think the thing is that judges aren't even looking at this stuff to decide whether that's appropriate or not.
Yeah. And what do you think maybe have helped the opioid crisis? We would have had more information sooner.
Well, yeah, we quote one congresswoman from Massachusetts who has been studying the roots of the opioid crisis for a long time. She says that it's heartbreaking and sickening, and that there's no telling how many lives could have been saved if this information about the drug had been out sooner.
Dan, thanks. It's a great piece. Appreciate you joining me.